Hello and welcome to the shop. I hope you enjoyed that little intro of the spinning top, and I'll show it to you real quick. Here it is. It is a bottle cap from a Lathe one, which is a craft soda, and I just basically turned a top and put a hole in the bottle cap and glued it onto that top. And it was just something I did for fun. I put it on my Instagram. I put it on my vlog channel, What You Doing Bob, and people went nuts for it. I was surprised at how many people commented and wanted to know more about this simple little spinning top. So I thought what I would do today is make a video on how I go about making this spinning top, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, and maybe you'll make some, and it'll be kind of fun for kids to play with, I think, or even adults might be able to come up with an idea or two with these tops. So without any further ado, let's head over to the lathe and let's make some bottle cap spinning tops. Before we head to the lathe, we need to first prep our bottle caps. And I've grabbed a couple of different caps, and I want to go ahead and take the rubber seal out of the back of them. So I went in the house and grabbed my wife's candle warmer. Now what this is, there's a little old tray here that normally sits in here, and you put these little wax pellets in it. They melt and they give off a nice scent, like cinnamon or chocolate chip cookies, whatever scent you want. You could also use like a coffee mug warmer, but I take the bottle caps and I place them in here face down, and we'll let them set for a few minutes. And what this will do is loosen up that rubber seal, and we should be able to peel it right out of the caps. I'm grabbing these with a little pair of pliers because they are hot, and I'm just using an awl to get a hold of the little rubber seal, and we'll pull it right out. They've been sitting in here all of about 60 seconds, maybe a minute and a half. It doesn't take long. With the rubber seals removed from our caps, we now can turn our attention to finding the center of each cap. Now, I haven't had real great luck with finding the exact center because I think the skirts on these caps, as you pop them off of the bottles, I think they kind of, they change shape a little bit. So it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be close enough. I have this dowel that I turned down a long time ago. It's not even symmetrical or even perfectly round for that matter, but the nice thing about it is it's small enough for the cap to fit over top of it. And I'm going to punch a hole right in the center of each of my caps. I chucked up a 9/32 drill bit. Now that's a couple sizes larger than 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch is the diameter that we're going to turn the post on our top down to. So that gives us room to fit that through the hole in the bottle cap, and kind of adjust it a little bit in hopes of getting it more centered. It doesn't have to be perfect. The top is still going to spin well, but the better centered that it is, the better your top is going to look while spinning. I'm just going to hold the cap by hand while I drill it, and really I'm pushing down more than I am holding the cap, and I'm pushing down because if for some reason the bit catches and starts to spin the cap, my fingers are on the top where it's smooth. They're not down around the bottom where the skirt is, and as it starts to spin, I can just pull my hand back quickly and hopefully avoid, maybe a small cut or scratch from the skirt. The other thing is, as you're drilling, you don't want to just come down and hog away at it. You want to bring it down slowly and just let the bit do the work, and you should be able to drill nicely right through the center of your cap. The first thing I'm going to do is identify the center, and now push down. I've chucked up a blank of maple, and I've brought my tailstock up for just a little added support. We're going to go ahead and get this blank true. My blank is true. I'm going to go ahead and make a mark where I want the top section to be, and then a mark where the end of the handle will be. When I mark this blank, I'm really not taking any measurements. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. You know, I give myself maybe 3/4 of an inch down here for the top, and then maybe an inch for the handle. I'm going to go ahead and turn the top section of this down to size. I'm ready to turn the handle down. I need to waste a lot of material quickly, so I'm going to use a Badan tool. I'm going to take a quick measurement. What we're looking for is something close to 0.25 of an inch. We're at 0.28 on that end, and we're at 0.30 on that end. I'm just going to use my parting tool because I get quite a bit of control with it, and I'm just going to go back and forth on this and take it down closer to 0.25. I'm at 0.26 in by the top, and I'm at 0.27 out on the end. At this point, I think we'll just go ahead and move the tool rest out of the way. We'll use some sandpaper to clean that up. Before I do, I did notice back in here there's a little bit of material between the handle and the top, and I want to clear that out. I want to make sure that the bottle cap sets nice against this flat surface. I actually kind of cupped it in just a tiny bit, and that'll give me some room to put my glue in there and then set the cap down on top of it. And as opposed to all the glue squishing out, it should allow it to spread nicely and hopefully form a nice seal to keep that cap glued to the top. Got a piece of 150 grit cling spore sandpaper. I'm going to leave the lathe spinning at full speed and just basically clean this up. Now that we've sanded it, let's go ahead and take a quick measurement. I'm at 0.253, 0.26. We'll sand just a little more down here. We should be okay because our hole was larger than 1/4 of an inch, but just to kind of clean it up a little bit. Let's see if that helped. I'm at 0.255. That should be perfect. Let me get the tailstock out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and sand this whole thing, paying close attention. I came in pretty close to the tip of the live center, but I still have a tiny dimple there. So I'm going to sand that little tiny dimple off and make sure that the bottom of the top has a hard point and not a hole in it. Not going to go any farther than 150 grit for sanding. Don't really need to. But what I am going to do is bring my tool rest back up, and I'm going to use a detail gouge and just put a couple little nice details in the handle just to make it look a little nicer. I'm ready to apply some finish. I'm going to use a little Aussie oil. This was sent to me by a good buddy of mine, Tommy Stridham, and I love how it makes natural wood look. Shake it up real good, put a little bit on a paper towel, and just apply it directly to the piece while spinning the lathe by hand. Now we'll start the lathe and build a little friction, and this should cure the friction, the Aussie oil, and give it a gorgeous look. The finish looks amazing. I just love the look of the Aussie oil. I'm going to go ahead now and use my detail gouge, and we're going to part this off of the block. Got her parted off. I'll take a little sandpaper, just kind of clean this end up, and then we'll wipe it down with some Aussie oil, and we'll be ready to install this into one of our bottle caps. I decided to use hot glue to put these together, just because it's quick and easy, and actually probably adds a little bit of weight for spinning, which is nice. Plus it dries quickly. So if you are making these for young kids and they're ready to play, you're not going to have to wait a long time. You could use epoxy. I just didn't want to mess with mixing it up and, you know, the wait time. I really hope you enjoyed this video. These little tops are super simple to make. They are amazingly fun to play with. It's surprising. Trying to get all four of them spinning there at once for you, boy, that was a trick, but it was a good time. These would be great to make for your kids, your grandkids. I think these would be fun to have at craft shows just to draw people into your table, and you could probably get several dollars a piece for them. And honestly, I believe the last couple I made were probably about in the 5 to 8 minute range. So you can really get to where you can knock these off very, very quickly. I certainly hope you enjoyed my video. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon, and have a great evening.